Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about past life regression therapy. Some of the most common questions I get on my channel and on my social media are about past life regression therapy. Well, because there is so much confusion regarding past lives, reincarnation and all of that, and there is very little information out there, and even less people with experience with past life reincarnation and past life regression therapy. So let's go. My name is Rio Kashyap. I am a Reiki master teacher, past life regression therapist, psychic reader, and your spiritual coach. And today we are going to talk about what past life regression therapy is. Now, first of all, past lives are real. I will explain to you a little bit later about how we all are connected and how there is no individualism when it comes to past lives. However, I'm going to discuss past lives in the context of every person having their own past lives, their own chain of lives where they have been reincarnated in the past. And I will go into the details of all of us being one and sharing our past lives later in another video to keep this video simple enough. So first of all, I'll address the questions: is past lives real? Yes, they are very real. Our soul doesn't die. We only change our body. When we die, our soul lives on. And there are many nuances to it, many different variations to it, many different situations that happen according to how the person dies, what the karma of that person is, what kind of energy they are carrying, what kind of soul contracts they have. So there are a lot of things that are intermeshed into this thing. It's not as simple as you die and then you go into your afterlife. No. So I am going to discuss all of that in detail on this channel. But for now, let's just take it as a simple process of dying and then going into the afterlife, just to maintain the simplicity. So first, I want to address the concerns of everyone who might be skeptical because of being trained scientifically. I am a dentist. I have been trained scientifically. I have done scientific research. My brain is completely scientifically trained, so it was very difficult for me to accept these things, even though I was having all these experiences throughout my life and during my training as well. So I will give you a side note here that me being a very hardcore skeptic, I only believe in things when I experience them. So I am going to tell you that I have experienced all of it. I have seen my past lives. I have had spontaneous regressions. I had past life regressions done by therapists. So if you want to know more about my spiritual journey, you can go watch this video. So after you are done, you can come back to this video. In my opinion, even if you prove just one case of reincarnation, that means reincarnation exists, right? But let's say you want to increase the probability of it being the truth, you can go online and search. There are so many cases out there, and personally in my life, whatever past lives I saw, they made complete sense to my life, and after seeing those past lives, there was great healing that occurred in my life, so they were necessary for me to see. Now the problem with proving past lives most times is that past lives can range from a few hundred years ago to many thousands of years ago, and sometimes on other planets as well. And it makes it very difficult to prove them because you don't have the historical data. But there have been certain people out there. I personally have colleagues who have had clients who were able to see their past lives that were fairly recent, and then they were able to go through the historical records to verify their claims. They were able to find the exact person that they were in the past lives, and the way that they died, it is the exact same way that that person died. So in regards to past lives, it's more of a personal proof. So moving on from this, what is past life regression therapy? Now, past life regression therapy involves a practitioner acting as a meditative guide to take the person into a deep meditative state and then guide the person into their past lives. Now, there is something called as hypnotherapy. However, hypnotherapy is very different from past life regression therapy. Some of the principles remain the same. If someone is a hypnotherapist, they can easily learn to be a past life regression therapist. If someone is a past life regression therapist, they will have to take a little step back in order to learn hypnotherapy. In hypnotherapy, people lead the client into an experience. However, in past life regression therapy, we only lead up to the point where relaxation is required. When the person enters into their chitta, which is the deep hypnotic state, then we just guide the person or instruct the soul of the person or higher self of the person or the person themselves to view their past lives or to go to the root cause of the problem that they are facing today, and then we let the subconscious mind free. The subconscious mind then chooses the exact experiences that are required for the person to heal in the present. So the practitioner here only acts as a guide for a person to go into that state and explore their past lives by themselves. You can do it yourself too, you can guide yourself into it. But the problem is that when you go into that deep meditative state, it is very difficult to stay awake, and it is also very difficult to stay aware enough to be able to guide yourself into it. Can you still see past lives on your own? Yes, you can. In fact, it has happened with me. One time I was meditating on a very specific issue to be resolved in my life, and just after meditation, because my brain waves were in a very low state, I got an urge to go and lie down on the bed. So when I did that, I immediately entered into a past life that was in Lemuria, and that was very important for me to see. If you want to go into the details of that story, you can watch that video here. So in past life regression therapy, it is you, the client, who sees their own past lives, and the practitioner just acts as a guide. Now the second question I'm gonna cover is, how do past lives feel like, or how do you actually view the past lives? Now it is different for everyone. As you all might know, we all have psychic senses. So every human being has 5 main clairs and then other subsets of psychic abilities, but the 5 main clairs are related to the 5 physical senses. So these physical senses, they sense all the things in our physical environment but also in the psychic environment, and the ability of these senses to actually sense something psychic, that is something related to past lives or energies, is based on what ability is open in a particular person and what abilities are dormant. So let's say somebody has a very open ability to see beyond the veil, that is, the person is more of a clairvoyant, then it is a very high chance that that person will be able to see their past lives like a movie, or they'll be able to be inside the body of their past self and then experience the past life as it is. Now let's say somebody doesn't have a very sharp ability to see, they are not a clairvoyant as much as they might be clairsentient, they might be able to feel things better. So the past lives might come to them in the form of feelings. So when I had my first past life regression during my training, I could only feel things. I didn't see a thing in that session, but I had already seen my past lives in my dreams. So I just had the same past life come to me along with the feelings. I could feel the anxiety, I could feel the situation that I was in, and I could feel the turmoil that that person was going through while dying, and that was a source of very high anxiety for me in the present. After experiencing that past life, my anxiety decreased a lot. So let's say somebody has a combination of clairsentience and clairaudience as their main abilities, then they might be able to feel things and they might be able to hear things. They might be able to hear the voices of people or hear their own voice telling them to go somewhere or telling them some crucial piece of information that is very important for them. Or they might be able to hear their spirit guides and guardian angels trying to guide them through it. Or they might be able to hear the voice of the God energy telling them something. So that also happens. Now I'll cover the third question, which is, what all can you see during a past life regression therapy session? The number one thing that you can see is your past lives, right? So number two is you can be in between lives. So let's say you are in that state when someone dies and then they haven't yet gone, to the next plane, but they are in the in-between stage. In this stage, a lot of things happen. The main thing that happens in this stage is a life review. So you are shown your whole life in front of you, everything that you have done, everything that you have received from the hands of others, all the experiences that you have had, all the soul contracts. So all of that is shown to you, and when we take the next birth, we actually forget all of that, because Earth is a school and we are here to learn lessons, and if we remember everything, then we won't be able to learn them properly. So in a past life regression therapy, you might also end up in a life between lives. Now you can get that session in particular. If you want to visit that particular stage, we can conduct the session in a way that you end up there and then conduct a life review. However, personally, when I conduct these sessions, whenever a person goes through their past life and then die in that life, I always hold them in the life between lives stage and then ask questions over there in order to conduct the life review and get the lessons. So the main thing is getting the lessons from those past lives. Why do we do this? Why do we need to go to the past? Why can't we stay in the present? People who are against past life regression, they often put this argument forward because they don't have the complete knowledge. Going to the past is very important in order to release the energy and in order to get the lessons from there, in order to improve the present life. So we are doing this just for the present life. We aren't doing this to find out, who killed me in the past life, let me find them and murder them in this life. No, we are doing this in order to get the lessons from those lives. And I'll explain this also in future videos in detail. So the second thing you can see is life between lives. The third thing you can see in a past life regression therapy session is just lights. You can see certain lights and patterns and stuff like that. Usually those are just energies. Those could be your spirit guides, your guardian angels, and sometimes that is the God energy that you're able to see and speak with. Usually that comes to everyone as a white light or a golden light, and that light is able to listen to their thoughts and then answer them. There is a lot of wisdom that comes through when there is a white light session. Whenever a client says, I can see white light and I'm not able to see any past lives, I'm like, okay, stop there, because we need to converse with this white light. You're talking to the God energy right now, right? What else do you need? So the fourth thing that you might be able to see during a past life regression therapy is some kind of a deity, angel, or someone that you believe in, or your loved ones who have passed, and sometimes even the higher self of loved ones who are still alive. So you might be able to meet their higher self. You might be able to meet your loved ones who have passed on, and you might be able to talk to them about certain things. This happens many times in past life regression sessions. The loved ones of people, they come forward because we never take time to meditate. We never take time to actually connect with our loved ones, and they have messages to pass on to us. They have guidance to pass on to us, and whenever we give them that opportunity, they come forward. So all of that happens. Now the next question I want to address in this video is, how long does it take for a past life regression therapy session? A single session may go on from anywhere between 2 hours to 5 hours. The longest session that I had with the client was 6 hours. Usually I take the past life regression sessions in a package of 2, because the first session is all about getting used to that state and just trying to tap into something. And when they go back home and sleep on it and then come back the next day, the breakthroughs we have in the second session are amazing. So I always try to have at least 2 sessions, and if someone has a very good result in the first session and doesn't want to come for the second, then that's another thing. I usually ask my clients to block the whole day or block 2 whole days for this purpose. Post your questions below in the comment section so that I can address them in the next video. The topic of my next video will be who should get a past life regression, or who can get a past life regression, or when should you get a past life regression. Basically the indications of a past life regression, as they say in medical terminology. So don't forget to post your questions in the comment below. Please interact with this video by liking, sharing, commenting, and by clicking the bell icon. It helps this channel to grow and reach more people and share this information with more people so that they can also be benefited. It is the time of the great awakening right now. There are so many people on earth right now who are working to raise the vibration of this planet. I being one of them. I didn't want to, but I was kind of forced into it. But I love it, I enjoy it, and I welcome you to do the same. Share my channel and share my videos to your friends and family so that they can also learn, raise their consciousness, and bring in more happiness into their lives. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day.